So how did you get into netball, like in the first place?
So I started playing at school. I think that's like a lot of girls. PE lessons, it's really obviously common for everyone to play netball. It's so great. Everyone gets the opportunity to start. So we're one of the sports that hopefully like a lot of people have tried before in the past, just like me. I then went on to play club netball. So just me and my friend from school together, we both really enjoyed it. We joined just a local league. When you're 16 about normally or like over 14, you go straight into women's league. There isn't really age group divided. So I've been playing in a women's league for quite a long time, since I was about 14. And from there, I just kind of progressed. So I joined like county netball. So I'm from Essex. So I started playing for Essex County. And then that went all the way through to joining a university where I trialled for the netball club. So I got into the Buck squad in my first year. And in my second year, I became the kit and tournament secretary. So I was just in charge of doing kit, and we always organise an annual tournament with other clubs. And then from there, for this year, I've been the president of the Women's Netball Club.
Okay, and how has the season been going so far? Obviously, we've got the big game today, but how have you
Yeah,
been doing for the last few months?
so it's super exciting at the Netball Club at the moment. So this is our first year in Tier 1. It's been a super big step up, playing the likes of like Loughborough, Birmingham, Nottingham and Trent. And our girls have handled the step up amazingly, really fighting for every game. And it's been a very tough season. And every time they go out with such great fight. We've had some amazing freshers join us this year. One of our freshers currently plays for Wasps under 19s. So that's obviously a great standard for us, and great looking forward into the future of netball at Warwick, because having those sort of partnerships is great for us. Our 2s and 3 squad this year are hopefully getting promoted. So it's been a great season for us and really pushing netball to way higher targets than we've had in previous years. Just being in Tier 1 for us has just been an amazing experience to be able to play these teams that have huge funding and huge like sports programs, and to be able to compete alongside them and really give them game is a great experience for us as a netball club.
Yeah, so I guess you've got high hopes for the game today. You think that
Yeah,
it's going to be
definitely.
an easy win or maybe a bit of a
Uh,
closer one?
I think that's a bit. We don't want to go in there with our with too excited, but our girls have been strong all season, and I think we're honestly just growing as a netball club. All games are great for us, and we know what we can do, and we know how great we are, and the talent we've got coming through the club at the moment really should display just an amazing game today.
Yeah, and who are the players that we should be looking out for, especially when we get the game started?
So what's really exciting is we have a few players that were in our original promotion squad from the 2019-2020 season. So that's Riley, who's our goalkeeper, Vita at goal shooter, and Lucy Robinson as our wing defence. So they're real core members of the team because they've been there all the way through, saw the promotion into Division 1, and then obviously stayed with us into their final years at the University of Warwick. So it's great to see them with us today. Our Bucks captain, Erin Farwell, she's our centre. Obviously led the team through this season, organises our training sessions. So she's the one, that little rapid one on the court, you'll see her. So she's really been a great help with us this season. And then we've had some new people move up to our ones this year. So they're great people to look out for. So we have Antonia Satchel and Olivia Ball, which are our third years, which have already had a year in Bucks, and they've just progressed to the first team for the first time. So there's some strong legs coming out. And then we have people who, obviously due to the COVID season, have never played Bucks netball before and have really just proved themselves out on the court. So we have Mia Blaney at wing defence and Abby Wood, who is our starting centre, which will show great fight today for us on the court. We're unfortunately missing Fabienne, which is our first scholarship player. She got injured playing for Wasps last week, but we know that we have great replacements going out into this game that will show us just as strong a game as she would have. Yeah.
Yeah, and have you got any strategies for dealing with some of Coventry's more dangerous players? Obviously, you don't need to go into too many details if you don't want to give anything away.
Not so much as tactics, just that we're going to play our own game rather than playing Coventry's game. It's really netball to almost play down to your opponent's standard. And we know we're not going to do that against Coventry. Play our own game, first and third second netball, no 2-second passes, making sure that we just, as soon as we get those turnovers, which we will get in defence because we're confident we will, just making sure we keep the ball safe. No lobbing it down the court because we know we can just, as long as we play it between ourselves, we can get it straight into shooting third. And we know that Vita will get that shots in every single time, which is great to look forward to.
Yeah, and for anyone that's maybe watching netball for the first time, what are some of the more, I guess, key rules or more niche rules even that they should be looking out for?
So netball's a great sport. I mean, I think personally, it's a really great sport to watch if you just enjoy watching these kind of things, but have never personally played. It's a very fast-moving game, so you can have up to like 100 goals scored a game. So obviously more than one a minute. So it's just great to watch the ball going back and forth. But everyone starts off in a position, so certain players are allowed in certain areas, which makes sure that it's really interesting then to watch the teams move and see how they work within the areas that they can work with and really use the space that they can. So centres are taken alternately. So it will be a Coventry centre or a Warwick centre first and switch. So it doesn't depend on who scored goals, which makes it very interesting for like the defensive side every time. So even if we're having a very strong game, Coventry will always get that centre pass after us every time. So it gives us great time to have a strong defence, get that turnover. And then once you get the ball, you have 3 seconds to pass it along without moving. It goes very fast. So we like to play a 1 second netball, 3 second netball. So as soon as you receive that ball, you want to look for that pass straight away. People should be anticipating moves. And then if we are finding that we aren't using those 1 second netball, we like to reset. And instead of doing those 2 second anticipated passes by the defence, change up our games and play those 3 second netball. Anyone marking has to be 3 feet away, which is about 0.9 meters. It just avoids those things that kind of cause obstruction in the game, and just it allows the game to move faster and more tactical. So your defense isn't just in each other's faces; it's anticipating the other team's move and stuff like that, and a lot more more tactical, which makes it for a very exciting game. In the shooting third, so that's basically down to your goal shooter and your goal attack to do all the exciting stuff. Straight in the net, every goal is a point, and so when you can see 100 goals a game, that's obviously very exciting to know that many can be scored from just 1 point. And then moving up the court, it's always great. No silly footworks from us, hopefully, and just keeping that ball safe and getting it down once we get an interception as well. And that's basically how we hope to play.
Okay, great. And I guess after this, if anyone has really enjoyed like watching the game and wants to get involved, sort of how can they get involved with ladies or even mixed netball if they like obviously if they're a man as well?
So it's obviously great for us at Warwick that we have the facility. So unlike a lot of Bucks squads, we also cater for the development and social league side. So rather than just having our performance sport teams, which we do, so our 1s, 2s and 3s play in Bucks. And we're currently pushing for a 4th Bucks team too. Our 4th and 5th team play in the local development league, and our social league teams play every Saturday. So if you're just playing netball for the first time, the social teams are a great place to meet people. And they play in the active sport league that actually we organise, not Warwick Sport, and just where all the societies play each other. And women's netball also have a team in that league, in which we umpire, just a way to have a little bit of like match play, but it's all friendly, just against societies within the university. Our social league teams, they just train once a week on a Wednesday afternoon. And so if you just wanted to train for that Wednesday afternoon, you're more than welcome to. That's a really relaxed session, but also a way to just have a bit of a runabout, like a break from your studies or anything like that. One step up from that is our development teams. So they tend to train about twice a week, plus hopefully we try to aim for about 1 match every fortnight. We haven't been quite as lucky this year. We've had some great matches, even a tournament the other week in Birmingham, which our girls absolutely smashed. They were amazing, and that's led by our development captain, Lucy Mayo. And then going forward, we have our box squads. So we're a performance sport. So we have 2 S&C sessions a week. 2 coach sessions by our coach Trish, who will hopefully be joining us on the sidelines in the varsity game. And we're really pushing, so we're pushing for promotion for our 3s and 2s this year. So we're in a really competitive place at the moment with our box squads. So there's very chance to get involved.
Yeah, a lot of chances to get involved. And I think that is everything. So we'll send it back to the live studio. But first, thank you for doing the interview, Eleanor.
Yeah, thanks, Will. Thanks for having me.
Yep, and hopefully everything is going to plan.
Yeah.